next day and said,
Right.
that was a great show. Like, well, you didn't say anything in the chat box. Let us know that you're watching. So we enjoy it though, but we have a blast doing this. I do want to just thank you for being part of it. Shirley is in Huntington Beach, California. She's our special guest tonight. People, if you have not met Shirley, you're going to have a great time tonight. My cousin from Kalamazoo, Mary Elder is watching. Michelle, that's right around. She lives right around the corner from you.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Listen, when I was growing up, she lived on Drake. So,
really?
you know, that's like right around the corner from you.
Yeah.
So great cousin, and her dad and my mom were like tight, right?
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they were really tight. So we like when my parents, Michelle, when my parents came to Kalamazoo, I lived in Kalamazoo, right? Mm-hmm. And when they came to Kalamazoo, they went to her dad's house. They didn't come to my house. And then they called me and tell me to come over, right?
They didn't come
how close they were. So I love you, love cousin Ike and the whole family. And so, and actually his brother is like 96 years old or 98.
Oh, wow.
He lives in Kalamazoo. The Gospel Tones. They had a gospel group called the Gospel Tones.
Oh.
Yeah. They traveled all over the South. So that was awesome. Timothy Day is in the house. Timothy's from Durham, North Carolina. And Dr. Bonita Harris is in the house from Charlotte, North Carolina as well. Thank you guys for putting that in there. Michelle, it is still Life Insurance Awareness Month, right? And so it's so important. It's such an important part of our financial footprint is to make sure that we have that. In my email that I sent out today, I talked about the old policy, right? And I don't know if you remember this or not, but I remember my grandmother, which I call Bit Mama, right? So we'd be at Bit Mama's house, and then insurance guy would come by, boom, 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 knock on the door, and then she'd take out the little yellow piece of paper and go, and she paid her weekly premium, and he'd write it on there, and then she put it back and all that. Insurance, life insurance is not like that anymore, right? It's so much more than that. Yeah. And what I'm excited about tonight is that our guest is going to tell us a lot about that. She's got a book out called IUL ASAP, right? And as you know, we are a big proponent of the IUL.
Yes.
And so it's gonna be
so say what IUL awesome. Is so people will know.
So IUL, Index Universal Life. You know how we talk in
I know,
in jargon, right? So we got all these synonyms, but Index Universal Life, we're gonna unpack that tonight. She's gonna explain it in her own way. And I do want to recommend everybody to go to Amazon. It's an Amazon bestseller. Go get the book. IUL ASAP by Miss Shirley Luu. Listen, order the book, right? Because I'm gonna ask y'all, I ain't gonna have no shame. When my book hits the fan, I'm gonna listen, y'all gonna have to buy my book. Y'all gonna have to buy the book, right? Hello, Alice Martin. It's good to have you here tonight as well. So listen, Shirley has a long resume, right? And she's done so much. But I want to just kind of introduce her from the standpoint of my relationship with her. I consider Shirley a mentor. I remember the first time I met Shirley, and I believe the first time I met her was actually in Greenville, South Carolina, where she was there doing a meeting. And I went to the training and saw what she was doing, and I picked up a lot of things from that. And I want to give out a shout out to the people in Greenville, Adele Ryan, who's usually watching every week. And sometimes, folks, if I don't recognize you, if you put something in the chat box, if you depending on how you got to it through Facebook, we may not actually see those comments while we're on the air, but I do go back and look at them. And so we do want to thank you for doing that. But she was just dynamite. I mean, I was like, this lady is a stick of dynamite. And then on top of that, her knowledge of the industry, her knowledge of the policy and how it works, and then her why.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to have a why.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And hopefully tonight we'll get a chance to unpack all of that. And so without any further ado, I want to bring onto the stage with us Miss Shirley Luu.
Hi. Good evening, Tony and Michelle. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, I get to be on The Money Coach. Are you kidding me?
We get to have you on The Money Coach.
I've been running around, but you know what I heard? Oh my gosh, I got to be on here. Making sure that I'm on time, as efficient. Well, first of all, hey, Guy, thanks for having me on. It's been a really exciting ride. Well,
Shirley, I had so much respect for you and all that you do and all that you do for our team, because we're in your EFC area. And so you do a lot for this team. And so, I just want to say, before we get really deep into the conversation, I just want to take a moment out, just say thank you for that and all that you do. And, what I like about you and Michelle is you're very focused on women's financial well-being. And I think that's important. I think we need that. Everyone needs that, right? Men need it too, but we think so often women are kind of left out of that loop. And that's a dangerous place to be. And so I appreciate what you guys are doing and, to advance women. I have some important women in my life, so I want them to do well financially. And so kudos to you for that. So
thank you.
And so tell us, why are you in California? I heard there's something special going on.
Oh my gosh, so many things going on. Well, first of all, my daughter's going to attending the UCI over here. It's costing me $80,000 a year. I'm crazy, to be able to do that. But it's been a very, very good ranking school over here. It's a U.S. News Report ranked at number 9 in the entire country. So she's going over here. Yeah. But at the same time, of course, me, I've got team over here. I'm meeting clients. I mean, clients literally buying the book or literally meeting me here in California. They're here and, but the book and everything has been going on. It's been upside down. I'm getting calls at 5 a.m. in the morning because I'm on California time. So people call me at 8 o'clock this morning. I say, what? I work from like 5 a.m. in the morning to like 1 a.m. in the morning California time. So it gives you an idea, right? So business has been nonstop. It is just crazy. I've never seen anything in my entire life, but so many exciting news. But let's talk, because there's a lot of fun things that's happening, Yeah.
So Shirley, what I would like to do, I've heard you talk before about your experience and what got you into financial services, what got you into insurance. And you have a story there, your personal story of what you went through. Would you mind sharing that with us tonight?
Sure. I guess a lot of the audience, some of you may have heard my stories. My husband had passed away through a tragic death. And when he passed away at that time, guess what happened? We ended up having no life insurance. I ended up almost homeless, carrying a one-year-old baby. 15 or 16. So been there, done that, guys. Been at the top of the wood, lost it all, and at the bottom of the wood. And I never want another woman in my life, or anyone I know to run through what I did. And so one of the critical things is that, in my culture anyway, the men usually handle the finances. So when a woman asks, hey, what do we have? Don't worry, I got it. Well, in my case, we didn't have under control because there were 3 important things in life that we didn't get taken care of. And to me, that was a tragic thing because it shouldn't have happened. I should have been made more aware and I should have been more conscious of what's going on, but we didn't. And then, how many times I see men? Oh my God, when I meet with men, my wife does everything. Well, guy, you know what? It works 2 street too. Then a lot of time I see men gets wiped out clean too, that they don't know what's going on, So it's just an important conversation that you needed to have. And, a lot of time when I talk to people, I've got under control. Well, what do you really have under control? So there are important things that in life, if you have financial planning, that you need to cover, 3 important components. And hopefully we'll get into that a little bit.
Well, Shirley, let's get into it. Let's get into those 3 important components, because I want to hear that. And then I want us to have a conversation about the old insurance versus the new insurance. I mean, because I think that's important that people understand, because we have this stigma, or we have this idea in our minds of what life insurance is, and we think, it means that I'm gonna die. I've had people tell me everything from, I don't want to jinx myself by buying it, all kinds of crazy things. But let's start with the 3 things that you were mentioning that everyone should have. Let's start there.
Good. But before I go into that, you had made a comment earlier about people going around knocking on doors and said, hey, I need to pay my $10 bill for the old insurance.
Uh-huh.
Because in the olden day, when your grandma and grandpa everybody used to have an insurance man would knock at the door to get
right.
Do you know, Tony, that still exists today?
Oh, I know.
It literally, the other day, one of my agents said, I got to go pick up some premium. I said, pick up what premium? From a client. I'm thinking like a couple $100 or $1,000. No, it's $15. I said, what? Oh my God. But it still exists. It's amazing, the way it is. But the other beautiful things is that, Tony, you have so much power in your possession. You know that, right? You are in position to go out there, not talking about just, any kind of life insurance. I mean, you can do term, you can do whole life, you can do, universal life. You've got the power in your possession to do any of those. But to be honest with you, there's so many kind of insurance out there. It really comes down to, if you were to ask me, well, what exactly do you have? Me personally, what exactly does Shirley Luu have? Well, guys,
okay,
I have something. It's called the 5-year retirement plan, and I'll tell you that later in a minute. Okay.
All right, we'll unpack that.
Before we go into that, let's go into about an IUL. So all of you guys that's on this call today, I see Chad Lawson there, right, with Ruth Bell and all that. Have you guys heard the 5-year retirement plan at all? Any one of you that's on Facebook Live right now? I see Mary Elder, Timothy Day, and all of you guys. How many of you guys out there has a 5-year retirement plan?
Come on, Timothy Day, tell me about it.
It's about interaction, right? Because this is about having a candid conversation with these, guys and ladies out there, because it's about learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So part of the, IUL ASAP is not just about life insurance, guy. If you read the book title further, it goes, How to Win the Financial Game of Life, Invest Like the Wealthy, and Generate Tax-Free Income with one 3-letter word. I would tell you this. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Actually, my team right now have a total of 37,000 clients, right? Wow. Not bad, right? Mm-hmm. All 37,000 clients, looking back now of things that we created, 15, 16 years ago is unbelievable.
Sure.
So the foundation of the IUL is really, 3 things can happen to you and I. Whatever you guys have out there, look, you're going to have to look at 3 things. First, if I live a long time, where do I have the money that I can count on, can give me a distribution tax-free income? Don't count on your kids. Don't count on your husband. Don't count on your wife, but you better count on yourself. If you don't have anything planned on that, guys, you're in trouble. Okay. So the first thing is making sure you have a stream of income for retirement. More importantly, if you get a tax-free, that's pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm. But not everyone qualify, life insurance. And there's another vehicle. If you read my book, it's called There's Another Way. Of course, the last chapter is the 5-year retirement, the bonus chapter, right? And I'll go into that a little bit in a few minutes, okay? The second component is, I think is important, is that way before you and I die, have you ever heard of anyone having dementia? I have friends in the family, the mother and the dad are having that today. Dementia, Alzheimer, chronic illness, critical injury. You understand?
Right.
Those kind of things that's going to happen to you and I way before we die. And I believe, we need to take care of ourselves. Look, guys, you may have a 401k and IRA and stuff like that out there, but isn't that intended for your retirement? So if you don't have the other backbone of like long-term care and things like that to take care of you, what are you going to do? Tap into your retirement? And then now you run out of, money for retirement and you're still sick. And, so I see a lot of that's happening, and I can tell you this. most people that's on this call, that if any of them that literally have a separate plan that outside, but what I find out is most people don't have anything planned on that.
Right.
They have life insurance that's going to be, you got to die first, to get any kind of benefits. So if you do have life insurance, make sure you get something, okay. It's interesting. Some of them I'm reading here that people said I haven't heard of the plan because someone retired 2008. Ruth, even though you retired 2008, I have a lot of people retire still. A lot of neat stuff that's available out there.
Absolutely
qualify. And the third component is that legacy. Look, I just know that if I kick the bucket tomorrow, I want my bones to be worth something to somebody somewhere.
Right.
I also believe in that the minorities and women out there don't leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you looked at your own parents, if your parents right now, Tony and Michelle, right? If your parents passed away, are they in position to leave you $1 million? How many people on Facebook like that right now can honestly tell me that, yes, if my parents die tomorrow, they're going to leave me $1 million?
Well, and then Shirley, and how many of them can do this? How many of them can say that they would leave $1 million?
Right.
Themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And yeah, you're right. And Tony, this is important, right?
It is awfully important. It is tremendously important because we love to throw these words around. We love to throw the words around generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
We love to turn all these, what I call, the latest, greatest words that sound good. Yeah. But what are you doing to create it? Right. Is it just lip service, or are you actually doing something to create generational wealth?
Absolutely.
And I think, like in my parents' case, they didn't know these things existed. Mm-hmm. And many people in our communities don't know that it exists.
Yeah.
And we have a responsibility to tell them and to make them aware of it. And then now it's not on us anymore. It's really on them. And there's so many people that need it. I mean, we could do tons and tons of things and not ever, all of us could be in this battlefield and still not really touch everybody that needs to be touched. But
absolutely. So Chad said he's got $500,000 that my mom would pass. I would be curious. Hey, Chad, does she have the old kind of insurance and the new kind? Can you answer that? Anyway, so with that, being said, because I think, if I passes away, I want to be able to leave a legacy, because you and I have the power to change the next generation of wealth in our family.
Yes.
If I pass away, yes, I could leave, so many things to, charity and all the other stuff, but at the same time leave, instantly my family and my kids become millionaire overnight. Mm-hmm. Just because we tap into these kind of things, right? So a lot of time, people don't kind of know about, these kind of things that they should have been tapped into. And I just want to be able to get out there and spread this message, And so a lot of time, people that are on this call that may have, life insurance. So the question is that, do you have the old kind or the new kind, right? Mm-hmm. So
what is the old kind, Shirley? What's the old kind? What the old kind is? How does that work?
It's so funny. I wish sometime Facebook Live that you can really talk to the folks. Chad probably would get definitely a free dinner from me. If he was definitely in the Washington D.C. area. Chad, I'm in the Washington D.C. area. So he said on the call here, he said his mom has $500,000, but he's not sure what her policy information is. Right. So that's the other important things. As kids, we have parents. Mm-hmm. We should be able to sit with our parents. I sat with my mom, 87 years old. Mom, what happens if you pass away? Where is all the things? Because you know why, guys? People are fighting over a daggone pair of boots. I saw family tearing apart on $25,000 grandma left them.
Wow.
And it happens every day,
Listen, I've seen it on less than that, Shirley.
No,
I was involved in family one time, and they were they were really ready to scrap over a $10,000 policy. Now,
Wow.
here's the scary thing: the funeral cost $9,000,
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
and they want to just argue over that other $1,000 that's left, and so it's just crazy. But you're absolutely right. We don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's so refreshing having this kind of show and talk show, and we make it dynamic, you know, because I want you to follow. Do you know Chad Larson at all?
Yeah, I know Chad. Absolutely.
All right. The next session, I think we need to have Chad on. Okay, you know, he's got homework to do here. Okay, because well, the good thing is he's okay. His mom's able to leave $500,000. That's kudos. That's fantastic. The next question is is it the old kind or the new kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So to me, you know, I want to have the latest, the greatest. It's like, you know, the latest gizmo that's available out there, right? Don't you want to drive the latest new car, right? Or the latest things that make your life easier? Not because of wanting to spend the money, no, but because it is better for us. It saves us time. It's more benefits. It's
Sure.
efficiency, right? And that's why we buy new things and do certain stuff to make our life easier, right? So same thing with financial planning. Most people are still operating in the very old traditional industry. The 30, 40 years old stuff that either the financial advisor told them about it, or maybe the grandma and grandpa. And I'm sitting there thinking, why? You owe it to yourself to just compare because you've got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you notice my book, besides talking about life insurance, it's a life insurance that you can live and all that. Tony, I'm about to tell you something that people probably don't believe me. Chapter 9, talk about there's another way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know people got 401k, IRA, and all the stuff running around out there, and someone was sitting there in near retirement, and they could have very well right now protect that money. Now, under index product, okay?
Sure.
Oh my God, you would not believe. I sat across the street. You know how many people said, well, I was told that index product is no good. It's not very good, and it doesn't make any kind of return. I'm like, so I said to them, I said, well, what kind of return are you expecting? They said, well, you know, like the stock market, 7-8%, those kind of return, or make 10, 15, 20%. And I said, yeah, but 10, 15, 20% doesn't sustain that way. But what is it in your mind averages in the long term? And they said, well, 7-8%. I said, okay, good. So 7-8% return in the investment market to you long term is considered good, right? Mm-hmm. They say, well, yeah. I said, okay. I said to them, but did you know? Now, past performance don't predict the future, guys. I'm going to make it very clear. But some of our index stuff that you're doing today, Tony, 2-year point to point, in some cases are making 30, 40%, 50% return on the money. I sleep at night. You sleep at night. We all sleep at night.
Right. Because we're not losing any money.
Right.
I don't have to dodge you at the grocery store.
So I'm like,
know that your account is doing well.
Bring it on, babe. And you don't think that you can do it because you know what? It's not just talk. I've got performance from my account, from my customer account, that countless and countless story. Tony, Michelle, that's why we won the fastest growing company by the Washington Business Journal for 2021. They just told us that 2 weeks ago, right? So to me, hey, that's been incredible, right? That we now consider one of the fastest growing company.
Yeah.
Right. And Shirley, the reason why that is, and you know it, is because if you help enough people get what they need, if you educate enough people, you know, you're going to grow, you're going to sustain, you're going to do well. Yep. And you are a machine. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt that your group, the Shirley Luu and Associates, it's a machine, and I'm glad to be a part of it. But it's a machine, and if you help enough people, and I think it all begins with education, because people don't know what they don't know.
Yep, absolutely. People don't know what they want to know, and some of you guys may say, "Well, Shirley, is this for real?" and all that. Guy, it is so real that officially yesterday morning, you know, Forbes Women's 50 over 50 have officially, you know, selected me as one of the women 50 over 50 in their magazine for the upcoming issue, you know, And I mean, these are top-notch winners that are on there. I mean, we're playing the space. I mean, one of the winners, the Vice President Kamala Harris, right?
Mhm.
And then you've got other Nobel Prize winner. That's also women. These are women, Michelle. You're gonna love, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's so exciting because I get to be part of these 50 women, and I get to meet with some of them and talk and mingle with them and play
Right.
and swim in the same lane and same pool with them. And that's what makes a difference.
It's
Mhm.
amazing.
I mean, it is cool. I mean, one of the ladies, she's a CEO of a New York life investment firm. She also won as well.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, interesting. So Forbes had considered us now the financial leaders of Forbes. And to me, that's an incredible journey where we've gone from no one believed
Right.
when I started this thing. It's like when I'm telling the index product, you can make money, no losses, we can get bonus on money. But you know what? Today it's no longer that.
Well,
Yeah.
Because you put in the work.
yeah.
You put in
Well,
the work to do. Yeah.
Well, Michelle, next year, girlfriend, we're gonna play this game. Tony, you have no idea what I'm about to do to the industry right now. Okay, you have no idea. I'm on the street. Okay, you are sitting on the Microsoft of the financial world that's about to explode. And if
Wow.
people on here that are not tagging on your coattail right now, they better, because guess what? When I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, because one interesting what I'm about to do. Insurance executive are literally calling me and said, Shirley Luu, I cannot believe you're bold enough to dare to go after banking industry. And I said,
Ooh.
betcha.
Mm.
I am playing in a different space, Tony.
Yeah.
And for me to get insurance executive, read my book, love my book, and then being able to partner with me in some way on that thing, and that's some of the amazing. And
That's
that's just
amazing.
some of the stuff.
So Shirley, how long has it been? How long have you been in the industry? And can you give us some sense of what your growth has been like?
Well, during the pandemic, one of the things the Washington Business Journal to them was important was that selecting a company that have growth year over year, and pandemic made it very difficult to a lot of companies. They lost revenue and this and that. But I continued to have 30% sales increased year over year, including during COVID. As a matter of fact, we are right now, we're hitting off the chart everywhere. And it's just a matter of, if you've been introduced to you, Tony, or Michelle, or us, or at certain time, guys, and if you haven't seen the vision and what the opportunity lies ahead, so, my husband died about 17 years ago. So I've been with it, First Financial Security about 17 years. But I love the idea for a fact that you can come in here and have your own identity. Think about it. You've got Money Coach, right? I've got Shirley Luu Associates, and it's really incorporating all of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine you now be able to go out there and say, hey, we got the #1 bestseller in 7 categories, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got the fastest growing company. Now you got the Forbes. And then you've got a reality TV show that's hitting next year on cable. So all these kind of things. Are you at the right place, the right time, And you know what? I mean,
and that's so important, to be with the right people because I've been in this business 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just being with First Financial Security, being with the right people at the right time, it makes all the difference in the world. It makes all the difference in how you enjoy your work. I tell people all the time, Shirley, I show a picture of our group together at Jumpstart, and I said, I show that picture to people that are considering coming on as a part of the team.
Right.
Because I say this, I work with people that I want to work with, not people that I have to work with.
Right.
And because I'm getting too old to be working with people I don't really want to work with, right?
Amen, brother.
So I work with people that I want to work with. Yes. And I'm just excited about where we're going in 2022. And just for a moment, Shirley, I want to get selfish for a moment, right? I want to get selfish. I want you to tell the people about how being in this industry, we know we do great things for the customers. It's Life Insurance Awareness Month. We got great products. I mean, you said it. We got term, we got whole life, we got IUL. We got the whole gamut, right?
Yeah.
So there's no reason why there's not anyone that we can't serve.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me what this business has done for you and your lifestyle. Being an entrepreneur in this business, what has that done for you?
Okay. So, before trying to find a place to live, carrying a baby 1-year-old around and, 15, 16, 2 years ago, my budget was to buy another house. Okay. And my budget was only $1 million. Okay. So $1 million, Tony. And I walked into this house. It was 2.6 million. Now it's a 1.6 million more than what my budget is. Okay.
Mhm.
And then the lady goes, "It's on sale today." And I'm like, "On sale?" I said, "On sale? On sale? How much, right?" And she goes, "It's on sale for 2.2. Well, it's 2.1999. Okay.
Mm.
Those number, right?
Right.
And I looked at her like, "Huh? Are you kidding me?" And then she goes, "No, look at this." The entire house was custom. Okay. It's hand painted from the floor all the way up. They did like $700,000 upgrading there. Now, Michelle, when you come to Virginia, you can stay at my place, my guest, and so it's easy, right?
Okay.
And so this house, you walked in, and there in the backyard, all fenced, and it's back to the woods, and then it has a salted water heated pool. I'm like, whoa, saltwater heated pool, right? And then I looked over there. There's a hot tub, 10 people hot tub, right? Jacuzzi's like going on to try to entice me. And I'm like, oh my God. And then if you don't like the hot tub, and Michelle, if you don't like the saltwater pool, I'll take you downstairs to the basement where you can have a sauna room. And I don't know, for some reason you don't like sauna room. Okay. How about I'll give you steam room? Michelle, would you like hot steam room? Or would you like cold steam room? You have a choice, right? And if you don't like that, then I'll give it to guys. It is a fun playground. But you know what? All being said, none of this could have happened if I didn't take a chance and believe in my mission. Guys, even though I talked to you about that, I know we talk about money, but it's not about that. There are countless of stories that you will hear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. One of them, the recent story you can appreciate. Okay, I have to say this. I have a young lady. She was 17 years old. During COVID, all the kids were like, had to stay home. They couldn't have a place. So I opened up my office for the student to come in because my office made of glass. Each one have their own glass because of COVID. So they're isolated. It was pretty cool. So they appreciate it. And then I took them. I said, okay, you want to learn about money? They're like, okay. So I took like 5 students, 17-year-old under my wings. When they turned 18, several of them got licensed and certified. She called me 2 days ago and she goes, I'm licensed and certified. And guess what? Remember, I bought the life insurance policy and I'm 18 years old. And she goes, yeah. She said, I went on Facebook and I posted it. Next thing you know, it's on TikTok. Yesterday, officially, she told me she's got about 100,000 views. Now,
wow.
100,000. Wow. She said, and my phone, she said, it's ringing off the hook. Everybody's DMing me. I don't know what DM is, whatever. Correct that. Because I am not technology savvy, guys. The only thing I'm doing is on this Facebook thing. But the DMing her with customers saying, can you talk to me? And all I know is I'm able to change lives in so many ways, now this young kids, and then there are others graduate from college, can't find a job, and we're rescuing them, So it's not only that, and then there's other practically don't have any money, and now I have people making 1.8 million a year with us, Tony. I have people that have no background at all, diddly squat and come in and make $5,000-$10,000, and I'm able to transform lives in so many ways, and you and I can change. And it's about reaching down. And you know what? I had that opportunity once. Somebody gave me that chance one time, and I want to pay it back. And so, with that being said, I'm glad you're on board.
It's a great opportunity. Yeah. It's a great opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. And when you have these strangers that walk up to you and say, hey, you changed my life, or and you have these instances where you're doing that from the standpoint of not only that you bring people in the business and they do well, but also that when that death occurs and you have to deliver that check, that promise that we've made, whether it's from the sickness or whether it's from death or what have you, the critical illness, chronic illness, You're helping them protect their legacy. You're helping them protect their assets, their home. Those types of things are so important that you can't put a price on. And it makes this business so rewarding.
Absolutely. And it's not just about death. During pandemic, Michelle and Tony, people were calling me and said, Shirley, I lost my job. Okay. So, of course, they lost a job. Next thing you know, I want to cancel my policy, right? Isn't that what follows? Like, I don't have any money to pay. I need to cancel my policy. But do you know what happened? Some of these accounts, because I told them paid overfunded a little bit. So now they've got extra money in the account that they were able to take the money out, Michelle, to pay for rent, to pay for things, keep them alive for the next 6 months to find another job. And the account still was enough money in there that kept the policy active. Even some of them can go on for the next 5 years, don't have to pay into the account. Wow. So how many of those policies out there do that today? How many policies give you liquidation when you need it and stop the payment and the policy is still active? Guys, I get on my high horse because I'm excited about the summer season. And hopefully, audience out there, that you hear this, it is straight from the heart, from what we're saying there. But like I said, we're at a time right now. I know
we're coming up on it. Shirley, tell us a little bit about. I mean, and I've never talked about this on our show, but we have this thing called Champions Club at FFS. And there's something that comes along with the Champions Club. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so everybody that's on this call, look, if you think about it, every minute, every day of your life is going to be wasted if you don't do something, right? So if people have to have a business, I needed to have a business that have several things. Number one, the things that you do today that will affect the future. Because whatever time you spend today will affect the future. And the financial service industry is very important. So to me, if you and I are working on this today, I want to leave a legacy. Championship Club ring leaves legacy, guy. What that means is that when you make $100,000 in our company, you would then have an opportunity to become ownership share part of FFS. We set aside a percentage so that you can part owner. That is pretty cool, right? Yeah. Because now Michelle and Tony are overriding Shirley Luu. And it doesn't matter where you are on the team out there. We're all voting for each other because we're all voting for the fact that, please, make more money, Michelle. Beat the crap out of me, right? I never know a company where, yes, we have friendly competition, but the fact that it doesn't matter. The more you come in here, the more money you make, the more successful you become. It's all in one team, right? Yeah. So championship means if you make at least $100,000 with us, you will now earn entitlement to a piece of it. But not only that, Tony, that's just that's a small piece. There's even bigger thing. And you know what that bigger thing is? Michelle, imagine this, right? You have 100 customers, right? You now have an opportunity to earn trails or renews on your 100 customer. And you have me. I've got 1,000 customers. Think about it, right? Now you earn trails renew on my 1,000 customers as well. And if you happen to pass away, kick the bucket early, all that money there, guess who it goes to? You deed it to whoever you want.
Wow.
I can deed it to my kids, and then my kids turn around and can deed it to the grandchildren. Wow. Now grandma has just left a legacy.
Right. And that was one of the tremendous things for me was, number one, is being able to be an equity shareholder, and then being able, because I've been in this business a long time, and until FFS, I've never filled out a beneficiary form of where my renewals will go if something happens to me. And that's to me, that's a big deal. Huge. That's a big deal. Yeah. And here's the thing about it that's so important, and I don't want people to miss this, is that in doing all that we're talking about, we're still doing what's best for the customer. We're still delivering a very needed service. We say this, we say you are doing well while doing good. Yeah. And so we do good by people, we serve people, we love people, and we see that their needs are met. And if you guys ever dealt with me, those of you who dealt with me know how I roll, right? And it's always customer first. It's always putting everyone first, because I always say this, I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. And I believe this. I believe this wholeheartedly with all of my heart, is that if you take care of people, God will surely take care of you.
Oh, I agree.
Surely.
I totally agree.
There's no doubt in my mind. You can't convince me otherwise. And so, and I love what I do. I have a ball doing this. So, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that, if you're sitting there right now and you say, you know what, look at your life, what is going to happen 6 months from now, right? So people that say, hey, you know what, I want to, people that said, oh, let me think about it. Sounds good to be true. Or let me check, let me work, let me do all this. Well, where will you be 6 months from now? Guys, probably the same place where you are. Yeah, or maybe get laid off, maybe unemployed, or maybe still chasing the same. You know how many people now coming back to me after, like, Shirley, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you. I could just put a recording on, right? As a matter of fact, there's so many people trying to come back to me right now that I'm literally, you know what I'm doing, Tony? I'm making them wait, and I'm making them sitting on the fence. I'm not responding back to you because guess what? Before you had Shirley Luu was trying to persuade you. I am playing. They have to come back and say, please, and that's the position that you want to be, that having the greatest opportunity and at the same time, with the kind of growth and all that.
Yeah.
So
and with wonderful people, Shirley, Phil and Debbie Gerlinger, wonderful, wonderful people. And I was just looking at some of the comments here. I look at Pastor Lawrence Conaway in Birmingham, Alabama, talking about right on, Tony. And we've in this business, and Shirley, you've been around FFS longer than I have, but we have had a chance to meet some really phenomenal people throughout the country. Michelle and her husband and you and Corey commented on us, being at the Black Couples Getaway down in Punta Cana. We had a great time, met some great couples, great people, and being able to come back and now service some of those people, helping them with their needs, is really what it's all about. I really would like you to do this, and forgive me, folks, if you're just listening, but I have some team members that are on here tonight.
Okay.
We have some team members to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe you should, and we haven't talked about this, am I correct? We haven't talked about this, but maybe you should issue a challenge. Maybe there should be a challenge that you want to issue. Maybe people who aren't licensed should become licensed. People who are not engaged ought to become engaged.
Okay, so let me see what I'm doing. Okay, it's coming out very soon. I am about to do an incredible within the next 2 weeks, probably. There's so much stuff that's going on, so much business coming in, and so much activities, and I want to help people being able to engage. So I'm creating what's called the Power Team. Okay, and the Power Team gets to participate in the Power Call. And to stay in the Power Team and stay in the Power Call, you have to meet certain challenge, just like you said.
All right.
And I'm going to define that. But let me tell you, these are the team that I envision banding together. We'll make a minimum $1 million a month together. I mean, for this Power Team. I'm not talking about 1,000 a month. I'm talking about a minimum $1 million a month together. Okay. So that's kind of my goal. You know what I mean? So therefore, I want to be able to engage, the team to be able, to help them, give them some roadmap. Guys, I will share you all my secrets. I have nothing to hide because you know why? If you're on the team, the more money you make, the more money I will make, the more equity share I will have, and the more equity share you will have. That's why I want to help you be successful. And that's a very few company. There's not many company out there that's willing to share everything. Why in the heck would I write a book, tell all my secret? Now my competitor are using this book. They're doing study lesson. They are doing the holding session. And I found out that this is what and guess what? Look, the other things too, this book right here, we're getting millions dollar rollover money. We're getting everything else. We're getting, life insurance policy, the Kaizen, and all the stuff that's going off the chart. It's because this book, I don't make money off, guy. I make $1. Right. I swear to God, I make $1. And then the other day, I've got a fight with Amazon because it was published two months ago. And everybody's calling me. They said, Ms. Lou, we can only order one book on Amazon. And I'm like, why? They said, Ms. Lou, they restricted one book. Wow. I had to fight with Amazon for a week. I said, wait a minute. Why I can only order one book? One? They say, well, people were hoarding it. What? And no, I said, no. I said, and they said, well, there's some that order like $50 or $100. I said, well, they order because they're teaching people they're not order. And so I had to yell and scream. And I said, every other published author out there is able to order as many books as they could. And you made all for the past 2 months that I can only do one book at a time.
Wow.
Is that fair?
Wow.
And I said, that's not fair. And I said, I call that discrimination. You know, they just changed it yesterday. Finally.
Well, listen, I do want to do this. I want to challenge to so we got a challenge coming out for those who are on the team. If you are someone out there and you have insurance, I want to challenge you to make an appointment. Let's review what you have. Everything starts with a conversation. And so often we don't know what we don't know. And I tell you, there's been stories after stories where I've sat down with people and they thought they had it all taken care of. And then when we pull that policy out, we find out that it expired because they were over 80. Or we find out that there's something there that they didn't know about. I had one guy, he was listed as his own beneficiary, right? On his own policy. He was like Thomas Jones Jr., beneficiary, Thomas Jones Jr., right? And so, you know, that's not his real name, by the way, so don't try to Google it. But anyway, so, you know, it's just, you know, I challenge you to make an appointment. I challenge you to contact us at Tony at the Real Money Coach. I challenge you to just have a conversation. It's worth having a conversation. It's better to know than not to know. Absolutely. And it all begins with a conversation. We don't bite. We're probably going to do our appointment on Zoom anyway. I can't bite you through Zoom, right? So let's have a conversation, people. Make sure that you're properly covered. There's 3 things. One is making sure you have the proper amount of insurance. Number 2, make sure that it fits in your budget. And then number 3, we can make sure we get you in the right type.
Well, Tony, it's more than that.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than that. Because let me tell you, the most dangerous thing is all day long. Do you know how many times I have literally client challenges me? And what they challenges me was, you believe in this stuff? I said, yes, I do. And they goes, then show it to me. I have annuities. I have life. I have, 5-year retirement plan. I have every kind of plan you could possibly think of. I said, you don't think my money is important to me, Mr. Customer? It is very important to me. My family is very important to me. My best friend is very important to me. And so it's, so therefore having that information, being able to share them that stuff, it's so important, guys. It's good for us. It's not that because you join and we ask you to forcing you to buy. No, because if financial, planning and retirement, having tax-free stuff and have money for the future, Tony, I'm telling you, the index annuity and stuff like that we're doing 2-year point to point, I'm making 44%, 36% return on the money, and people's mouth are dropping. You want to play with the stock market? Go do it. But guess what? I'm here in the position to be able to do this with no losses, guys.
Right.
No losses.
No losses.
No losses. Yeah. That's an awesome thing. So listen, we got some people putting in the chat box. Chrissy Burton said, awesome conversation tonight.
Hi,
Chad said she's got a term policy. Listen, Chad, we need to talk. We need to talk, my brother. We need to talk. So listen, there.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to say something to Chad. Chad, remember that $500,000? That ain't happening.
Oh my God. Shirley,
I love you, Chad. I love you anyway. So it's really cool. Is he on the team?
He is not. He is not.
He's gonna give me a flat tire if he finds me.
Listen, it's a very and I think Brad said it. Thanks Shirley for the time, for the energy. It's been a very energetic conversation. Let's see, we got some more here. Leslie Hamilton said, great conversation, information. V out of Florida says, thank you for the conversation. Chad said, it's my mama policy talking to her. So listen, but really great energy. Sean, Sean Lee. Sean Lee simply said, I love it. Ruth Bell says, thank you so much for the information. Listen, folks, I want to remind you of this. I want to remind you to go to our YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube page. Join the Real Money Coach Facebook community as well. Von Clement said, thank you. One of my very powerful agents. Man, listen, he's doing a phenomenal job just introducing this to people and taking care of people. Lawrence Conaway, who is on the team, by the way, said he's getting the book. Folks, if you are on my team, we are studying the book. That's our book study. You know, we do a book study quite often. This is our current book study that we're doing. Listen, we're going to do this, learn more, become better so that we can serve better. And that's really what it's about.
And Tony, one of the things I recommend you do is this. Let's say you buy the book and you give it to your friends or family, right? But don't just give it to them, okay? Here's what I recommend you can do. You give it to them and say, look, I bought this book. I cannot give it to you. I cannot sell it to you. I can only loan it to you. But you have to read it within a week, okay? This book guy only takes 2.5 hours reading. Do you know I can entire 8 doctor's office because they read the daggone book. 8 offices. So capitalize on that, guys.
Absolutely. So listen, I do want to thank everyone for being here. We're at 9:04. We are going to do this. We are going to do this because we do this every week. I am going to bring Shirley back and Michelle back for one final word, and then we'll close out this Thursday edition of the Real Money Coach Live. Any last words, Shirley, that you want to share with the people?
Last word is for Chad. Chad Lawson goes, I'm a whole life personally. Laugh out loud. Oh my God. Chad, you got to connect to, you definitely have to connect with my friend Tony there, bud. Okay. Look, connect with Tony. Get in touch with Tony because after that, I want to have a fun conversation. It'll be fun, hey guys, I love you all. I appreciate every one of you that's tuning in on Facebook Live. Leslie and Vixen and Chad, and I see my buddy Sandy Lewis out of Atlanta, Georgia, as well. So Lawrence and everybody. Lawrence, you won't regret it, buddy. Okay. So on that, I thank you, Michelle and Tony, for allowing me to be a part of this tonight.
Well, we appreciate it, Shirley.
Yes.
We absolutely do. And again, thank you for your leadership and everything. Michelle, my friend.
Yes.
Hey, Spoon Code, what's going on? What's your
Shirley, thank you so much. I have been so blessed by being the stand-in co-host for the Real Money Coach because I am just learning so much. Oh my God. And I'm not sitting on information, people. I'm actually taking action. So thank you so much for having wonderful people like Shirley on every Thursday. And, we get to hang out with the Real Money Coach family because we are about educating financial literacy for people, period. And I love what I do. I work all the time because I actually love what I do. And I want to impart the knowledge that I've gained to other women business owners so that they can leave legacies to their family. And maybe I might be incorporating some FSS strategies into what I do as well.
It ain't maybe. You doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it already.
I know I am.
You're doing it already. You're doing it already. You're referring people, that type of thing. And we're going to get you to the next level. We're going to get you to the next level. With me and Vaughn, we're going to get you to the next level. We're going to get you to the next level. So, and listen, I think that's just so tremendous. And Shirley, I can't let you go without telling you to tell Mr. Wu I said hello. Miss seeing him. Look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon. And you didn't invite Lisa and I to stay at your house, but that's okay. We're gonna remember that. But you invited Michelle. Maybe it's you and Lisa that's going. Me and Lisa are gonna be somewhere else.
All right. So you want to come, Tony? You want to come? Let's talk about what the requirements are.
Oh, okay. See, she's gonna challenge me. Okay. I got it. Hey, I'm up for a challenge. Believe me, I'm up for a challenge.
Okay.
But thank you
guys. Hey,
thank you.
Other than that, I love you guys. I have to run.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, listen, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I know we went a little over, but we're just having a good time. hopefully you got a lot of good information that will make you just go after it. And we talked a lot about our business. Our business is not for everyone, we'll be honest. But for some of you, it is. It is. And I hope if you're part of our team that you're encouraged tonight, that you can do more, that you can serve more, you can help more people. If your business is another type of business, we want you to be empowered that you can serve. Shirley went from being practically homeless with a 1-year-old child on her hip, widowed at a young age, unexpectedly, and now look at her. And so I hope that you look at her story and you can say, if Shirley can do it, I can do it. If God has no respect to person, listen, each and every one of you that's watching tonight, you can have your dreams. You can have your dreams. You know, nothing's impossible to him who believes. And I believe in you, and I know God believes in you. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to go for it. And it can get tough. It can get tough. Life can throw you some wrinkles sometimes, right? We know that. But, you know, persevere. And that's why my wife labeled our team long time ago, Team Tenacious, right? And that means that we're tenacious, that regardless of what you're going through, just stay with it, be tenacious, and your victory, you win. We all win. So with that, thank you again for tuning in tonight. Share this information with someone. And again, Tony at therealmoneycoach.com. There's other things that you can go to. You can go to TonyJacksonAppointment.com and get directly onto my calendar. You can visit, see presentation at ipadyourmoney.com. All those things are available. So just go there, get information, contact someone on the team, and let's just have a conversation. With that, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in to The Real Money Coach.